The Washington Commanders just wrapped up a historic 2024 season. They brought in a coach that completely revamped the culture in the locker room and a quarterback that may have just had the greatest rookie campaign in NFL history. Let's talk about it. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and drop a like on the video and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future NFL, NBA, and other sports content. Like I said earlier, the Commanders had a historic run this year. And I don't think it's an overstatement by saying they exceeded pretty much everyone's expectations. And I think most of you would agree it is a direct result of two factors. Number one, Dan Quinn. Quinn has a pretty extensive coaching background ranging from college level to the National Football League. He eventually made his NFL coaching debut for the San Francisco 49ers back in 2001 as a defensive quality control coach. He jumped around the NFL a little bit as a defensive line coach for teams like the 49ers, the Miami Dolphins, and the New York Jets. He finally landed his first assistant head coaching position with the Seattle Seahawks back in 2009. Eventually, Dan Quinn was able to land his first head coaching position with the Atlanta Falcons back in 2015. He reverted back to a defensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys back in 2021, and finally, once again, became a head coach for the Washington Commanders in 2024. Dan Quinn has been on record giving credit to a number of mentors, but none more notable than championship coaches Pete Carroll and Nick Saban. An article published by The Athletic detailed what Dan Quinn had to say when asked about working under Coach Saban. He stated, "It was like going to get your PhD in football. The details he went through, knowing every part of the program he touched." Looking back on it now, with Dan Quinn's extensive knowledge and experience, it seems as though he was the perfect candidate to take over the head coaching position for the Washington Commanders. The Commanders finished the 2023 season with a record of 4-13, including only one win at home and a division-high 8-game losing streak. The last thing anyone expected was for them to finish second in their division the following season, let alone get off to a hot start. And that's exactly what happened. The Commanders finished the 2024 season with a record of 12-5. Which was good enough for second place in their division, right behind the Philadelphia Eagles. And they started the regular season with a 5-game win streak. The Commanders also finished top 5 in rushing offense, scoring offense, and red zone offense. And they also finished top 5 in passing defense. So from a coaching standpoint, it's pretty obvious that Dan Quinn's leadership had an immediate impact on this roster. That being said, coaches don't play the game. So there were definitely some solid contributions from players as well. For example, you have players like linebacker Bobby Wagner and safety Jeremy Chin, who both recorded well over 100 tackles to help solidify the defense. Or like receiver Terry McLaurin, who had over 1,000 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns, which was good enough for second in the entire league. However, I think we could all agree that from a player perspective, there was no one more impactful, more valuable, or contributed more to the success of this team this season than rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels. This LSU standout came into the league with some pretty high expectations. I mean, after all, when you consider that when he played for the Tigers, he won the Heisman Trophy, the Walter Camp Award, the Associated Press College Football Player of the Year, the Sporting News College Football Player of the Year, the SEC Male Athlete of the Year, the Davey O'Brien Award, the Manning Award, the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, and of course, a consensus All-American. So yes, Jayden Daniels was not expected to be a slouch in the NFL. And on top of that, he was also drafted at the age of 24, which is slightly older than your average rookie quarterback. But still, a rookie is a rookie. And the NFL game is vastly different than the college game, even if you did play at LSU. So his age should take away nothing from his amazing performance in his rookie year. Speaking of which, let's take a look at just how impressive his rookie campaign actually was. Jayden Daniels finished the season with over 3,500 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and a QBR of 70.5 with a passer rating of 100.1. And on top of that, he rushed for almost 900 yards on 148 carries for 6 touchdowns with an average of 6 yards per carry and only 3 fumbles. He had the most playoff passing yards by a rookie in NFL history with 822. He set the NFL record for most rushing yards by a QB. He finished the season with 37 total touchdowns. That's regular season plus playoffs. And he led the Commanders to the NFC title game for the first time in 33 years. You honestly can't say enough about Jayden Daniels and what he was able to do as the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. And yes, in my opinion, this was the single greatest rookie campaign of any quarterback in NFL history. But you know what's really funny? On top of everything that I mentioned in terms of the accolades, the stats, in reference to Jayden Daniels, what's even more impressive is this young man's poise and his ability to stay humble. From game 1 all the way up until they lost to Philadelphia in the NFC title game, Jayden Daniels never really made it about himself. He was always incredibly thankful for his teammates, the coaching staff, his loved ones, and he's always stuck to his beliefs, which is something that you gotta respect.
Man, it just starts with our faith in God. As a team, man, we believe in one each other. We believe in the man upstairs. We prepared the right way. We put in the work to get to this point now. I just love this team, especially for the fans that came out and supported us, that believed in us since day one. Special for DC, man, the DMV.
So overall, this was an amazing year for the Commanders. They exceeded everyone's expectations, and they were a ton of fun to watch. They have Dan Quinn as their head coach, Jayden Daniels as their franchise quarterback, and not only will they be an exciting team, but also a contending team going forward. There's still a lot of moves that can be made to improve this roster. And I'm telling you right now, if they have as good of an offseason that rivals anything that they were able to accomplish in 2024, they're going to be a problem for the entire NFL for years to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Here.